Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
All right, you guys, so Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada. Once again, this is a way for the left and the right to come together, because no matter where you stand on the topic of mass deportations of illegals, we can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
Robert Downey Jr. just made it clear that he's not interested in working with Ryan Reynolds. Why? Because Ryan and Blake allegedly tried to set him up. Just like Justin Baldoni, according to reports, Ryan approached RDJ for a cameo. But RDJ saw through the lies and managed to avoid getting himself into a dangerous situation. It now appears that the recent revelations about Hollywood's golden couple might have something to do with it. With Justin airing the truth about Ryan and Blake, other celebrities are also beginning to step forward.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
And now, with RDJ joining Team Justin, it looks like Ryan and Blake are really done for. But what exactly did RDJ say? And does he know something the rest of us don't? Let's find out. It appears that Robert Downey Jr. is siding with Justin as well. According to the latest reports, when Ryan was preparing the list of actors for cameos in Deadpool 3, he approached RDJ too. Honestly, that makes sense. It doesn't get bigger than Robert Downey Jr. Screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick told People, "We had wanted him to do a cameo. We had written that scene to start with Happy and Downey." Ryan reportedly pulled out all the stops to convince RDJ to agree to the cameo. He even read the script to him personally. But guess what? RDJ turned it down.
Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds. Making the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman told Ryan Reynolds in 2021 he'd return as Wolverine after saying 4 years earlier he'd never come back doing the movie Logan. It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. But one actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there, because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him and said he wants to fight him in Secret War.
According to Wernick, Ryan really gave him the hard press. "We wrote scenes and Downey read the scenes," he said. But what we didn't know behind the scenes was this Dr. Doom thing. However, fans aren't buying that excuse. The last couple of months have been eye-opening when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, and the cold, hard truth is that he might not be the nice guy he pretends to be. Don't believe it? Well, you might want to hear what Candace Owens had to say. She met with a source who revealed that Ryan was actually the one who started the entire Blake and Justin mess in the first place.
Candace Owens posted to her story saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. And he also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni. Basically saying that it's us or him. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what Justin Baldoni also alleged. And I think he said it happened either at the premiere of It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, she says we know what happens next. He gets dropped by WME. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly, and truly they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women issues. And she goes on to give what she believes. She says, I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator, and then all that changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly blew a fuse. She also believes that it was probably him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere.
Whether it's It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine, the situation seems clear. We know what happens next, she says. He gets dropped by WME, and Wayfarer Studios is instantly blacklisted, persona non grata in Hollywood. In truth, they had done nothing wrong except cast a woman who had a reportedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is genuinely a good man who truly wanted to do the project. He cares deeply about women's issues. She goes on to explain what she believes happened. I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed up for, which is why she didn't request an intimacy coordinator. But everything changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly lost his temper. She also believes it was probably him who demanded that Justin be placed in the basement during the premiere. And Candace isn't exaggerating here, because Justin's lawsuit makes similar claims. According to the lawsuit, on July 22, 2024, Lively, Reynolds, and other cast members attended the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. During the after-party, Wayfarer representatives were informed that Reynolds had approached a senior executive at WME, expressing his deep disdain for Baldoni, even suggesting that the agency was working with a bleep. Honestly, the fact that Ryan invited these people in the first place is raising all kinds of red flags.
If he wants to go after you, he infests himself into every area of your life. And he did this Justin Baldoni. He's like, who are your friends, okay? Who owns the production company? Who owns the next movie script? I am going to infest myself everywhere. I'm gonna be doing your movie premiere. I'm gonna be doing promos and making fun of you. Right? I'm gonna put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Candace isn't the only one exposing Ryan. With the recent drama shaking up the industry, more and more celebrities are stepping out of the shadows. After all, what's the point of hiding when the public already knows half the truth? Take Martha Stewart, for example. She recently claimed that Ryan isn't the funny, charming guy the public believes him to be.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it, and I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me. I see him
he's a
walking
good
up
actor.
and down our
He can act
neighborhood
funny.
all the time.
He can act funny. But he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again.
I'm so disappointed, actually.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Now, most people might think that Martha was simply taking shots at Ryan's sense of humor, but a large part of the internet believes she was hinting at something deeper. That Ryan isn't the nice guy everyone thinks he is, but someone with serious control issues, yes. That might sound like a stretch, but before drawing conclusions, it's worth hearing from Ryan's co-stars. Take Morena Baccarin from the first Deadpool movie. She quietly stepped back from the franchise after the first film, and many believe Ryan had something to do with it. To be fair, Morena never directly blamed Ryan. Speaking about her absence from the sequel, she said, "I can understand that people felt that way, and I was certainly disappointed that I didn't have more to do because I just loved the part so much. But in watching the film and reading the script, it felt like such an emotionally pivotal role. The entire arc of his character is set into motion because of what happens to mine, so it felt that I was still very involved, even without many scenes." However, insider reports claim that Ryan allegedly gave Morena the same treatment Justin Baldoni faced, reportedly banning her from press events and appearances.
Breaking news! It's all coming out in the wash. So Blake Lively, what she did to Justin Baldoni, guess what? She learned it from Ryan. Ryan Reynolds did the same thing to Morena, her last name is Baccarin, who also was in Deadpool. You remember when she made Justin Baldoni go sit in the basement with his family for the movie premiere? Ryan Reynolds did the same thing to Morena and her family. He did not allow her to be part of any of the movie's premieres for Deadpool.
The worst part? Moreno was actually this close to playing a much bigger role in the franchise. But Ryan didn't agree with that move, so he and the director butted heads about it. However, in the end, Ryan got his way and Moreno was banished to the sidelines.
Then I went and dug a little bit more, and the director of Deadpool, Tim Miller, did this interview and said that he left the Deadpool franchise because of Ryan Reynolds. He said it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise. So if he decides that he wants to control it, then he's going to control it. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. The worst part? Moreno was actually this close to landing a much bigger role in the franchise. But Ryan reportedly didn't agree with that decision, and soon he and the director began butting heads over it. In the end, though, Ryan got his way, and Moreno was pushed to the sidelines.
I think after he got super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see? And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion.
That may mirror
of
your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool. And I think it's weird that he hates me.
And get this, Moreno wasn't the only one who had to step back from the franchise because of Ryan. Remember T.J. Miller? He played Weasel in the first 2 Deadpool movies, but most of the time, he found himself on the outside looking in. According to him, Ryan Reynolds' attitude had a lot to do with it. Back in 2022, Miller opened up on the Adam Carolla Show podcast, revealing that his experience with Reynolds on set was far from pleasant. He described Ryan's behavior as unsettling, saying, "He was horrifically mean to me, as if I really was Weasel. He said things like, 'You know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you do just enough exposition to be funny before we can get back to the real movie.' Miller added, 'I wouldn't have done Deadpool 3 even if they offered me twice as much.' And like many others, Miller wondered, why would Ryan treat him that way? Well, it seems the fame may have gone straight to his head.
You felt it coming from him.
Everybody did. That's why it was awkward. Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? And the other weird thing is like, maybe he got, I think he's kind of an insecure dude. He's really nice, but I mean, his Twitter bio is showing you the parts of me that tested the best in focus groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that he's joking.
So,
I think that might actually be his real sentiment there.
Miller also believed that once you peeled back the layers, Ryan was just an insecure guy who found gratification in putting others down. Behind the charm and confidence, Miller claimed, there was a man driven by ego, someone who thrived on control and validation.
I just noticed something, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I just noticed that for the new A Simple Favor, I've been calling it A Simple Favor 2, it's supposed to be Another Simple Favor, with starring Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. When I was looking at it, I noticed, and if you look at the poster, Blake Lively's name is like sitting up higher than Anna Kendrick's, but it's like off to the side up high. It doesn't make any sense. It looks so weird, but it's weird. Anna Kendrick's name is first, but then up higher and to the right of it is Blake Lively's name floating above her. And I looked at, they put out several different posters for this new movie coming out. They announced it's being released May 1st, and it's in all of them. So then I went back and looked at all the A Simple Favor movies previously. Not all of them, but the previous one. And it's not like that. It says Anna Kendrick's name first, and then Blake Lively is next. Oh, I just did a quick search. And Anna Kendrick's movies, the number of movies she's been in, has been 50. Blake Lively, 25. So she's been in half the movies. And gross, Anna Kendrick's movies have made just over $2 billion. and Blake Lively's have made just over $1 billion. Why would her name be up floating higher? I mean, obviously Anna Kendrick's name should be first. She's the bigger star and always has been and always will be now. But then I'm thinking, they can try to say it was something artistic, but if you see it, go look at the poster. It makes no sense at all. Was this a demand of Blake Lively that, you know, Anna Kendrick will get her name first, but then Blake circumvents that, and even though Anna Kendrick's name is first, hers is higher?
At the end of the day, Ryan and Blake seem like awful people to work with, so it makes sense why RDJ didn't want to get himself entangled with people like that. But what do you think? Is Ryan's awful behavior the real reason RDJ turned him down? And how are Ryan and Blake going to come back from this? Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and make sure to check out this next video.
And it's not just him. Turns out his wife, Blake Lively, is no different. According to insiders, the actress is a control freak as well. And if you find that hard to believe, just take a look at Anna Kendrick. The two first worked together on A Simple Favor back in 2018 and recently reunited for A Simple Favor 2. But fans strongly believe that Anna didn't actually want to work with Blake again at all. The way Anna avoided the question had fans convinced she wasn't happy about working with Blake, which aligns perfectly with what insider reports have been saying for a while now. Apparently these two have been clashing behind the scenes. According to one source, there is a gigantic pink elephant in the room that no one is acknowledging. The backlash to the initial promo has been brutal. People are protesting and refusing to see it. According to the source, these movies are basically all Anna and Blake have in common. They share a working relationship, but by no means a close friendship or bond. Last-minute talks are reportedly underway with executives, as Anna would prefer to distance herself from Blake moving forward. It was originally planned that the two would handle most of the promotion together, as requested by the studio, and both had agreed. However, Anna may go it alone due to fears of getting caught up in the ongoing drama. Beyond this, Anna and others do not anticipate any deep level of involvement. In fact, Anna is prepared to take on the promotional responsibilities by herself, preferring this approach to avoid dodging questions about Blake's lawsuit or turning every interview into a Lively versus Baldoni Q&A session. Although Blake is obligated to promote the film, she retains the autonomy to decide the extent of her involvement beyond SXSW. They are now leaving that decision up to her. But don't be fooled, Anna's issue with Blake isn't just about the on-set drama. It's because Blake is a control freak, much like her husband, determined to trample over everyone around her. Between the two, Anna is the bigger star, so naturally she should receive top billing. However, insider sources claim Blake didn't allow that to happen, and it seems true because the poster says it all. At the end of the day, Ryan and Blake seem like awful people to work with, so it makes sense why RDJ didn't want to get himself entangled with people like that. But what do you think? Is Ryan's terrible behavior the real reason RDJ turned him down? And how are Ryan and Blake going to come back from this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the next video.